So good morning, everyone. My name is Trishul Devadiga from Spider Software, Mumbai head office. And the topic for today is create your own scanner using Spider Software. So let's get started. First question is, how do we create our own scanner using Spider Software? So the answer to that would be by using the feature available in our software, which is technical query. So if you open the software in the first window, in the home page, if you go to query, you'll find technical query over there. So using technical query, you can create your own scanner. So exactly what is technical query? So using technical query, one can create their own technical scanner using different indicators or studies. You can create condition as per the study you are using, and whenever the conditions get satisfied, you will get the results to the scanner. So in simple term, for example, if I'm someone who trades according to the crossover of averages, so what I'll do is, rather than going to chart and seeing whether rather than going to different chart and seeing where the crossover is happening, I can create a technical query where I can put the conditions as average crossing upward or downward, whatever conditions are. So whenever the conditions get fulfilled, I'll get the result directly. So I don't have to go to different chart and see where the crossover is happening. So to ease that process, we have technical query. So we can use technical query for our aid in this purpose. So they help us trade faster and effectively. So I can use different studies as well. If I want for RSI, read any study, RSI, MACD, average, I can create for conditions for any of them. There are n number of conditions under every study, so I can use them according to my trading setup. This is a scanner, basically technical query. So if you open technical query, this is the window that will appear in front of you. So the first window would be of studies, next would be of comments. Then we have two results window. First is historical, then the other one is live query, and the next one is miscellaneous. We'll come to it one by one. Then this is the main window would be of study window. Okay. So first starting with conditions. So what exactly is conditions? I'll take you to the software afterwards. First, I'll see what condition is. So first of all, there are total 50 conditions in one window. You can add up to total 50 conditions. You can also add different studies as well. So how to add conditions? First, you have to double click on the studies, double click on conditions. Then the study selection window will appear in front of you. After that, you have to choose your desired study. And after that, you have to choose your desired condition. So let's go to the software and see how it works. So this is my window, main window, home page. I'll go to query, and after that, I'll click on technical query. So you can see I can open up to 3 windows at a time. So open a fresh new window over here. This is my main window of technical query. So yeah, first we're talking about conditions. As you can see, it starts from 0 and goes up to 49. So in total, I can add up to 50 conditions over here. It could be different studies as well, different parameters as I want it. So I'll double click on the first, which is condition 0. I'll double click on this. So a window of study setup will appear in front of me. So there I have different studies. Whatever study or indicator you use in your daily trading setup, you can add it. For example, for now, I'll add average over here. I'll double click on average. The next window in study setup is parameters. I'll go to parameters. For example, I select, if you keep your cursor over, you will see different types of averages. We have simple, exponential, and different types. So you can, if I want exponential, I can go for E. But for now, I'll keep it simple. And the average period, I'll keep it as 21. Okay, and this is my time frame changing window. If I want average 21 in intraday, I have to just click on the drop down option. Then here I have intraday. I have also weekly, monthly, quarterly, half yearly, yearly. So different time frame option. I'll keep it as daily for now. I'll click on daily. Then I'll go to the main window, which is our condition window. So for averages, as you can see, price cutting average downward, price cutting average upward. I have different types of condition. There are n number of conditions when it comes to averages as well. So whenever you're using averages, whatever condition you're using, you'll get it find over here. So for now, I'll select price cutting average upward. I'll choose a positive condition over here, price cutting average upward. So that means my average is cutting my price upwards. So it's a positive condition. So here I have check on nth back bar. Now this is very important to understand. What does this mean? Check on nth back bar. By default, it is 0 right now. So whatever the query I'll run, it will find in the latest candle. So 0 means my latest candle. If I put it as 1, it means the prior candle. 2, a prior candle to that. 3, 4, 5, likewise. So if you keep 0, it will find in the latest candle. So if you want it the latest candle, you have to put it as 0. So for now, I'll put it as 0 and I'll click on add. So I added one condition over here, which is of price cutting average upward. So this is one positive condition. So I can add multiple condition. I'll open one more, and this time I'll go for relative strength index. Okay, so here I have relative strength index. Double click on that. Go to parameters. I can change my parameters as per I want. So I'll keep it default. You can change the overbought and oversold parameters as well. I'll keep it daily only. This is my overall parameters. I go to conditions now. So again, I'll choose a positive condition. Could be that RSI should be above 60. Okay, so here n number of conditions related to RSI. You can choose. If you read it one by one, you'll understand what does this mean. So for now, what I want is the RSI value should be above 60. So I'll go downward, and here I can find above. And RSI, the value I'll put it as 60. So above 60, RSI above 60. This is my second condition. Again, I want this on my latest candle. So I'll put it as 0. So these are my two conditions. This is just an example. I'll add one more. This time I'll go for another, which would be MACD. Double click on MACD. So it will be selected over here. Then go to parameters. There are different parameters. You can change parameters as per you want. Again, I'll keep it as default. I'll not change the parameters. I'll come to condition. See, cutting average upward, cutting average downward, crossing zero line upward, crossing zero line downward. So you have n number of conditions related to MACD as well. So for now, I'll select as it should be above zero line. So I'll choose as crossing zero line upward. So when the MACD is just crossing its zero line, so in MACD we have a zero line. So if it's crossing zero line upward in the recent candle, I want it to be considered in my query. Again on the latest candle, I'll click on add. So here are my three positive conditions that I have selected. So to run this query, what I'll do is first of all, okay. So I'll commit live and historical later. First of all, we have to select a group. So I'll click on this drop down option. We have BSC, NSC, NSC derivative, NSC futures, NSC option, commodity, and groups. So I'll run it on Nifty 500. So open groups. I come to exchange defined NSC, and then I search for Nifty 500. It's over here. So I'm running my condition on Nifty 500 right now. So if I'm running this condition one by one, I'll click over here. I have to tick all the conditions that I have selected. So I've ticked on all the three. And what I'll do is click on conditions. Right now I'm running a condition. We'll come to relationship after some time. I have ticked over here condition, and then I'll click on run. So this is how my historical window looks like. So we have different stocks over here, and just a minute. Okay, so this is my window. Yes, it is written for because the average crossover is happening over here, price and average crossover. This is for RSI and this is for MACD. Okay, so this is all the results I've gotten over here. So what I'll do is again I'll go to studies. So in historical you will see there is yes in this, there is no in this. But if I want all this condition to be fulfilled at the same time, I want all this full condition to be fulfilled at the same time. So what I have to do is I don't have to run it on a condition. What I'll have to do is I'll run it. Just a minute. I'll take you to the PPT once again. Okay. So after conditions, we had another. Our next topic was relationship. So if I want multiple conditions to be added up at the same time, I'll have to create a relationship for that. So let's come at relationship. When you want to create a relationship between multiple conditions, so you use relationship when you want to create multiple relationship between conditions. So here is C0. C0 means condition 0. The first one which we clicked was C0. So C1, C2. In relationship, you will have to write condition like this. Then we have and or. Then we have change color. So these are the topics coming at relationship. We'll look at it one by one. Again, I'll open the software. Okay. Yes. So here are my three conditions. Now I'll click over relationship over here in this column and I'll write C0. So this is my main condition, right? Average crossover happening over here. So C0 is my main, and after that I'll write C0 and means the next condition and this should be satisfied at the same time, put at the same time. But if I want, like, just a minute. Okay, next I'll select C1 over here, C1, and the next is C2. But I have a condition like average crossover should be there. But if it is okay if there is only one condition happening in my script, it should be either above RSI value 60 or it should be crossing 0 and upward. So what I'll do is, as you can see, as you saw in the PPT, there is option of and or. And means both the conditions should get satisfied. But if I use or, I'll open a bracket over here and write or to C1 or C2. Let's close the bracket. So as you can see, C1 or C2, first my bracket will get satisfied. So one of these conditions should be get satisfied. And with that, my average crossover is permanent. C0 and one of these. I'll tick over here, relationship. I'll click on description. I'll write is a positive signal. I can write anything over here in description. For now, I have put it as positive. Just untick from here. These are the failed conditions. Okay, over here. Now, if I'm running a relationship, I have to comment relation, and this time I'll run it on whole NSC. I've come to NSC. I've selected the group as whole NSC, and then I'll click on run. So all the scripts under NSC are getting scanned right now. So these are my stocks which have fulfilled my both the condition. To check the results, what I'll do is I'll go to studies again. So now what I can do is I can manually add RSI, MACD, and average over here. But if I don't want to go to all that problem, I can just click on chart. So if you can see in the background, average, RSI, and MACD is already plotted over here. So I'll just full screen this, make it as Japanese candle, and I'll come to result historical, and you can see the result crossover happening. There is an upward crossover happening, and it is about RSI as well, and even the MACD is above zero line. So you can see Britannia upward crossover. The RSI is below 50, but my MACD is above its zero line. So again, my conditions got satisfied. So here is all my condition that got satisfied over here. You can check it one by one. These are all my conditions. Again, I'll come to results. So this was on daily time frame. But what if I want to change the time frame? If I double click on this, I don't have an option over here. But if I want to change the time frame, just a second. What I'll do is I'll just set up a poll for you guys to answer. I'll just launch my poll. Okay, I'll wait for some time for you guys to answer the poll. Okay, so I've collected the response, and right now I'm closing my poll. So the result are 57% know how to change, but 43% don't know how to change the time period. So we'll see how to change the time period. Right now, as you can see, it is in daily time frame. But what if I wanted it in intraday 5 minutes? So for that, I'll have to come at this option, this miscellaneous, the last option in our window, which is miscellaneous. So here I have option of changing the time period. I'll click on this and I'll go for intraday now. Click on intraday. You have to set minutes over here. I'll put it as 5 minutes. So here I have selected all. So if I click on change, all the condition will get changed. But if I want to only change one of the parameters, I'll select this one first. Then I'll go to miscellaneous. I'll click on selected. If I want this daily only, I'll click on daily and change. So one condition is changed. So this is how you use. Go to miscellaneous and use all or selected. If you want to change for all, you have to click on all. If you want to change for some particular conditions, you can go for selected as well. For now, I'll go for all. and make it for intraday 5 minutes. 5 minutes and change. So all the conditions are now in intraday 5 minutes. Now if I want to run this, I just click on run. So these are my results for intraday 5 minutes. Okay. So if I want to check, I'll go for intraday 5 minutes and I can check. Just click on studies. Again, I'll open chart. I'll go for intraday 5 minutes now. You'll see my average RSI and MACD over there. So this is my result that I'm getting. As you can see, all the results are getting fulfilled. I'll again come to studies. Okay. Right now, we were looking at the result which was historical, which has already happened. But what if I want where the crossover is happening just right now in the live market? Currently, if I want it in a live format, I'll go for live query. And now just I have to go for result live query. You can see the live results are getting updated over here. Average crossover happening over here. And MACD is just above zero line. You can see all the conditions happening, fulfilling over here. So this is my live query. I can see the live result happening over here. Matched positive because my description was positive. Go to studies again. Okay, so this is how you make condition, and after that, if you want to combine, then you can make relationship as well. Okay, so if you want to save this query, how you'll do that is, okay, you just have to click on save. You can give it any name. I'll give it as positive 123 and click on save. So my query is now saved. And if I want to open it, if I clear all, if I want to open it the next day or afterwards, I can just click on load and I can go for positive 123, double click on that, and my window will be appeared in front of me with all the condition and my results as it is. So for now, what I'll do is again, I'll clear this. I'll take a simple condition over here of super trend. Take the factors as 220. Now, intraday 5 minute basis. Go to conditions. Now I'm going for close above super trend. So in intraday 5 minute, all the stocks, if the candle is closing above super trend, I want that stock. You click on add. This for intraday 5 minute. Now again, I'll make a relationship. You just write C0 over here. Take. And again, I'll make one more condition. This was positive and other one should be negative. Come to super trend. Again 2 and 20. And again for intraday 5 minutes. Intraday. This is 5 minutes. Conditions and close below super trend. So I'm just taking a basic condition over here. I'm giving the check on n back bar as 0. So this was C0 and the other one is C1. Click on both of them and put it as set. These are my two conditions I have put over here. Then I just go to historical and run. So here is my result for buy and sell getting over here. But what if I go to live, just a second. So this is my live query. As you can see, all the description reason coming over here is in same color. So it is difficult for me to distinguish between what is buy and what is sell. So for that, we can go to studies and change the color of the result from over here. If I click over here, click on set, and I'll put this as yellow. And the other one as click on set color. I'll put that as white in color. Okay, so now if I go for result live query, okay, as you can see, it is coming in different colors. Sell is in white and buy is in yellow. So this is how I can ease my process of analyzing the query result as well. So the sell is in white and the buy is in yellow. So this how I did this was click on condition and set color, and I can change the color as per my need. Okay, so I'll again come to my PPT. So this was the relationship window. We have covered all the parts in this. Then there is change input. So what is change input? What change input mean is, if you take any study, the parameters would be, if it considers as price close. If I open any study right now, if I open average, it would consider average of price close. But what if I want to change the input? So for that, I'll again open the software, clear this window, double click on this. Okay, for what if I'll open average. Okay, I'll keep it as S21, simple 21. And I want to different studies, price above average by 200% and add. So I selected the condition as simple 21, price above average by. So double click on this. If I click on change input, if I click on change input, you'll see it has considered input as price close. But what if I want volume average breakout? So this is considering as price volume breakout, but price average breakout. But what if I want for average volume breakout? So what can I do is, I can click on change input and I'll change the input as volume, so that the average will be considered on volume. So I'll just click on conditions, again conditions, just historical, and run. So the results are getting scanned right now. So it is considering all NSE. So here are my results. So as you can see, there are many unwanted scripts as well. As you can see, all these scripts. But what if I want to remove all these scripts? I want to filter a particular. I can click on show NSE, show only EQ. EQ means equity stocks only. So what are the equity stocks in NSE? Only that should be considered. And when I'm running it on whole NSE, I can choose this filter as well. Last traded on or after. So I can select the last traded session should be of this day. I'll click on run. So now I can see my results are filtered. I'll put it in daily. So you can see then average volume breakout happening over here in all these candles. So this is how you can find average volume breakout. I'll add average over here for us to see the results. Average, I have chosen the condition as S21. So I'll go to parameters and S21. I'll go to users, and when going to input, I'll put it as volume because I want the average on volume, and subgraph in volume as well, and click on add. So as you can see, my volume is above the average by 200%, and these are my results. So this is how I use change input option in our software in the technical query window. So I'll clear this one as well. One more thing why we use change input is when you're finding divergence in market. So how to add divergence? First, when I want divergence, I want it between price and momentum. For momentum, I'll take relative strength index. I'll choose relative strength index from over here. I'll go to parameters. I'll keep it as 70-30 for now. I'll not change the parameters. Coming to condition, I can choose any condition because I just want the input of RSI. So I choose RSI over here. Then in next, I'll come here and I'll write divergence over here. Coming to divergence, have different types of divergence forming over here. So I'll choose right now negative swing divergence. Come to parameters. I'll not change the parameters for now. Condition. I'll check in on one back bar. Like it should be considered on this candle, not the latest candle. I'll put it as 1 over here and I'll click on add. So this is divergence. But right now, if you see, I'll click on change input. It is considering divergence with volume. But if I want it with momentum, I'll click on this drop down option and I'll choose RSI from over here. So I have changed the input between this is the price and I have wanted for volume. I didn't want it for volume, so I changed for RSI and I have clicked on OK. So now you can see when I change the input, you'll see a star mark forming over here after your condition. So now I'll click on this, and if I just run it for Nifty 500 now. Okay, so I'm running for Nifty 500. So in all this stock, you can see divergence are forming. So I'll again go to studies, click on chart, full screen chart by pressing Z. Then I'll go to result historical. First, we have ITC. You can see a negative swing divergence forming over here. See, the divergence is also plotted with price and momentum. Momentum, which I've taken as RSI. Amtratech, you can see divergence forming over here. So all this result, this is how you use change input. Yeah. One more, you can use change input for one more thing. I'll again clear this window as well for divergence. What if you want to combine multiple studies? You want to compare multiple studies. What if I want average crossover between super trend and average? How do I do that? Because the calculation for both the studies is different. How do I compare both the studies? So for again, I'll again launch a poll. Okay. So the question is, do you know how to combine multiple studies? I'll just launch the poll. So we'll wait for 20 to 30 seconds and then we'll continue. So ending the poll now. So the result which I have here is only 16% know how to compare two indicators, and more than 84% don't know how to compare indicators. So let's see. If you click on conditions, again I'll come at conditions, double click on condition. So here if you write average, you will see average two line, two inputs. Now this is something you use when you want to compare two different indicators. So average two line, two input parameters. I'll keep it as S1, S1. Coming to a condition, if I want a positive crossover between super trend and average, I'll click on cutting average upward. Again, I'll check it on the prior candle, not the latest, but on the prior candle. I'll keep it as 1, check on nth backbar. Now click on add. Okay. So now what I have to do is again click on change input. Now I'll change the input as, just a minute. What I have to do is I'll clear this. First, we'll add both the conditions what we want between super trend and average of, I'll take S13 and add. Now I'll take average two line two inputs. Go to parameters. I'll click on cutting average upward and add. Now clicking on change input. If I click on drop down, and I'll see my two indicators are right here. First I'll take super trend, and the next input I'll take it as average S13. Okay. So now the crossover is between super trend and average. So you can see cutting average upward. I just have to click over here and I have to just click on run. You can see in the stock, I'll just add the particular study in the background. So my two studies were average S13 in all time frames, add, and super trend. Parameters are default, so I'll just click on add. So now click open this chart. As you can see, a positive crossover happening in the latest candle. Again, a positive crossover between average and super trend happening in the latest candle. So these are my result of positive crossover happening in the latest candle. If you want to change the input, you have to see that all the conditions that you have selected should be of the same time frame. It can't be one of intraday and one of daily. It should be always of the same time period. Click on that, you'll get the result happening over here. So these are compared super trend and my average. This is how you can plot both the studies, and you can see the results happening over here. So I'll again come to my PPT. Next is query offset. Now this is something very important to understand. Now how we use query offset is, we use query offset to backtest our result. 0 means the latest candle and 1 candle prior and so on. 1 means prior candle and so on. As we saw on the check on nth backbar as well. See, this is the query offset window. If you want to check the result, 0 means on the latest candle, If you want it for prior candle, you put it as 1. Prior to that, you can put it as 2 and 3 and so on. If you want it in the latest candle, it has always should be 0. I'll put it as 5 for now in the prior 5th candle. I'll just run the results. So if I open this, you can see crossover happening in the prior 5th candle. You can see the results. So these are all my results. Now this is how I can backtest my study. Be it divergence or be it any study, you can change the query offset. 0, just remember the 0 means the latest candle and 1 means the prior candle and so on. So this is how you can backtest your studies. If you're creating any strategies over here, if you want to check how it has performed in the previous time frames previously, you can change your query offset and you can check the results as well. So one of the main conditions in this is technical queries price over Chelsea. So what price over Chelsea is? Every price based condition is under price over Chelsea. So we'll talk about today is rising for n bars, falling for n bars, upward breakout 1 and 2, and column value condition. We'll look at it one by one in the software only. I'll just clear all this. Just a minute. Just double click on this. I'll come to price over Chelsea. So this is one of the main condition that I have in study setup window, price over Chelsea. I'll click on parameters. I'll put as daily for now. I'll come to condition. So these are all my price related condition. As you can see, rising for last n bars. If you want a candle to be continuously rising, you want a higher high formation, what you can do is click on high and put it as rising for last n bars. So that means for n number of bars, I have put it as 0. So for the last 5 candle, it would be forming a higher high formation. If you want opening to be, if you want closing, if you want it on closing basis, that the close should be going upward, it should be rising, you can go for close. You can choose any of the time, any of the candles you want, n number of candles. You can go for 6, 7, anything. For now, I'll put it as 5 and go for high. High 5, that means it is rising for last 5 bars and it is in higher high formation because I've selected as high in the latest candle, from the latest candle as well. I click on add. Let's see if we get any results in this. See, these are the results. As you can see, these stocks are forming in higher high formation for the last 5 bars. They're continuously rising. Their high is continuously above their prior candle. Bajaj Finserv, you can see again a higher high formation happening in all these stocks. This is how you can find multiple stocks using scanner which are forming higher high formation. Again, I'll come to price over Chelsea. So this was rising. The vice versa of that would be falling for last n bar. If you want some stocks that are creating lower low continuously, you can click on low. You can choose the number of bars that you want and on what bar you want that condition to get satisfied. So if you want low low formation, you can click on low. Number of bars you can keep up according to you. If I want, it should be making lower the formation, falling for n bars, low, and add. Now I'll click on this one and click on run. So Bandhan Bank, you can see continuously it's falling. It is creating a new low every time for the last 5 candles. Again, TCI, TSNC, TSNS brands. Continuously, it is making lower low formation. So that's why I said that price was is one of the main conditions for us to create price related condition. Again, price will Chelsea. The next is upward breakout. So what I'll talk about is upward breakout and downward breakout, and upward breakout 2 and upward breakout, downward breakout 2. Starting with upward breakout. So I'll double click on upward breakout. So I have input as open, high, low, close, as we had in the previous one also. If I want the current candle's high should be greater than previous 5 candles high. We want the high of the current candle should be greater than previous 5 candles high. I'll click on high. I'll select, for now I'll select as 6. So my current high should be greater than previous 6 candles high combined. So 6, upward breakout. There's upward breakout of high forming and click on add. I'll click over here and run. See, My current candle's high is greater than all the previous 6 candles high. In ACC, you can also see higher formation as well. And my current high is greater than all the previous 5 candles high. So this is upward breakout. So with you can also add this with divergence. As we saw divergence in the previous candle, you can in the latest candle you can also add upward breakout of the previous candle. So this will help you to find better divergence. Double click on this again. Price over Chelsea. Go to conditions. This was upward breakout, and the vice versa of that is downward breakout. Then there is upward breakout too. Now this is something important. This is the breakout of an inside bar. Whenever in market, if they are forming inside candle, if you want the breakout of an inside candle, you can use upward breakout too. So I'll again select as high and breakout of high. I'll put the number of bars in inside as 5. Again, the latest candle, add. Click over here and run. Let's see if we have any results. So we have Velcop. As you can see in the result, it was forming an inside bar over here. This was the main candle, and the next 4 candles were inside it. So it was an inside bar formation. In the latest candle, in the latest daily candle, you have seen the breakout of this inside bar. So this is how we find the pattern breakout of an inside bar using upward breakout too. Again, this was an inside bar, and we have got high greater than the all the highs of the inside bars. So this is the breakout of an inside bar. So again, this was, if you want downward breakout, you can go to price over Chelsea. You can go to price over Chelsea, click on condition. If you want downward breakout, you can go for downward breakout 2 as well. If you want downward breakout of an inside candle, you can go for downward breakout 2. So next you can see between and above. What should be the price value between above? Next, some important part. If you want the candle to be green body, you can add this with your different conditions as well. A gap up still open, gap down still open. All these conditions related to price you can find in price over Chelsea. If you want a red body with your, if you're adding something negative in your condition, and if you want the latest candle to be red body, you can add this also. You can add up with this different condition. If you want green body for last n bars, go for 5. My number of bars 5 would be green body. Click on add and run. You can see all the 5 candles prior would be a green candle. So this is how you can find some positive stocks as well. Again, I'll come to studies. Next, what we'll check in price, which we'll see is, want to cover this part, which is column value part. This part, as you can see, column value is equal to previous open, column value is equal to previous high. So what all this means is, I'll click on the first one. So column value is an input. You can change it with any of these input: open, high, low, close. If I click on close, my condition will become close is equal to previous open. If I click on low, my condition will get fulfilled as low is equal to previous open. So I have multiple n number of conditions for that as well. If I want some stock which are forming open is equal to low, I'll click on column value is equal to low and select open from over here. So all the candles which are forming open is equal to low will be over here. Put it as 0. Now I'll check it on the latest candle. All the stock which have formed open is equal to low in the latest bar will be shown here. See, all the stock which have formed open is equal to low. See, all the stock are forming open is equals to low. If any of this condition you want to add related to price, you have to come to price over Chelsea. So this was column value, which means open. I said that the input as open is equals to low. Untick from over here. Again, price over Chelsea condition. We have different for column value as well. We can compare with previous, also previous low, previous open, previous close. Then we have something important with all-time high. If you want to find all-time high low scripts, 52-week high low script, you can find it from here as well. I'll have just a minute. So I've taught you how to save this query as well. But what if you want to hide the conditions? If you want to what if you want to create a protected query? How do you do that? So again, for that, I'll like to see the results of how many of you know how to create a protected query. So I'll again select a poll. I'll just launch a poll for you guys to answer. We'll wait for 30 to 40 seconds and then we'll continue. Okay, so the question was, how many of you know how to create a protected query? So 83% of the audience live over here don't know how to create a protected query. So we'll see how to do that. You just have to click on save. Then you have save as type. This is query file enhanced. You just have to click on the drop down option and you have to go for query file protected, and you can give the name anything you want. I'll go for, just click on save. You have to click on yes, and you can set the password as well, and till what time it could be used up to forever, or you can select a date as well. I'll click on OK. I'll not set password for now. So if I want to open this, I click on load query file protected. You will find over here and protected 1, 2, 3. So you can see all my protect conditions are now protected. So if you are making any condition and if you don't want someone else to copy your conditions, you can make it protected as well. So in protected query, you can make no changes in that particular condition. It will be set as it is. You can make no change, no conditions. So this is how you save a particular condition in a protected manner. So this is something I want to talk about is upcoming webinar. So we have an upcoming webinar on 12th of November at 11 a.m. So the topic of that webinar is Nifty and Bank Nifty intraday option strategy. The speaker of the same webinar would be Mr. Rutaj Vichare, who is a senior support executive of our department. So it is a paid webinar. The prices are minimal as 590. So if you enroll for this, if you want to enroll for this, you have to message me at this contact number. These are the 2 contact number you can message on. So we'll enroll you. So the prices are minimal. They are 590, and you'll get Nifty and Bank Nifty intraday option strategies as well. And we'll also save the query file and the screen file as well with you. If you want to enroll for this, you can contact us at this number. So thank you for joining. If you have any queries related to any of the technical query, or if you want to make any technical queries according to your setup, you can call us or message us or email us at this given detail over here. You can call us at this number. You can message, you can drop a WhatsApp message on this number as well, and you can also drop an email at this email ID as well. Thank you for joining, everyone.